Good afternoon, and welcome to a short episode of Que-stead-Que. What you gonna do? I don't know, but something's gonna grow. Well, yesterday we hit 75, the day before we hit 71, and as you can see today on the first day of spring, a snowstorm. Well, it's not exactly a snowstorm. We were expecting rain, but the temperatures haven't gotten any higher than 32. And so the rain has turned to snow. So I can with confidence say this is our final snow. Usually we get one last snow mid to late March. Every now and then we'll get a snow in April. And then also we've gone up to May getting our final snow, depending on how the spring goes. But for the past decade or so, usually our spring kicks in late March, early April. And usually we'll get our final snow right around mid-March. So this is, it didn't surprise me. But actually it is late March because today is the 20th. So therefore, yeah, this is pretty much on schedule. So it'll snow. It probably will not stick because the ground has warmed up nicely. People are fishing. Boy, JD and Robert and some of my other fishing buddies, they are lighting them up, and I'm missing it. And so I had said, well, since I know that this surgery is easy peasy, I said I'll be going on the 3rd to fish just to get one in, because instead of waiting until the 15th after my final appointment, and then I went over my instructions again. Sometimes it's good to kind of refresh that stuff. I went over my instructions again this morning, and it said that, like, if you go to play golf or if you go to run at the gym or something like that, it can put pressure on your eye and make that cataract lens, the artificial lens, slip out between the iris, and then you end up back on the operating table, and it can make the eye pressures rise. That can cause, I want to say, macular degeneration or edema or something from the eye pressures going up from strenuous activity. And so it said, please do not do any of those things that will put any type of strain on your eye, including lifting, bending, that type of thing. I was like, okay, I've come too far for that. So no, Q can wait on the fish. All I have to do is just wait another week and a half another 2 weeks after my last surgery. So when he gives me the all clear on the 14th, then I will go fishing. That is, if he gives me the all clear, because I haven't had that second eye done yet. And see, I've always known my second eye to be my worst eye, but he determined that my right eye was the worst eye because it had compensated for so long for that left eye that it was just the worst eye. So that's the one he did first. But me personally, my left eye is always the one that has given me trouble as far as pain, blurriness, and things like that. So yesterday, my left eye was really blurry, and that's just something I'm used to. And then when I went to bed, I had a headache in that eye, which lets me know the eye pressures were up, because remember, the ocular hypertension is still there in that left eye. And then thirdly, my eye felt like a rock was in it. And so, I laid down, I went to sleep. Then I woke up in the middle of the night with the headache, not in my eye, but it was in my neck, because I had slept with my head bent all the way back. I was like, oh Lord. So I got situated, and then I fell back to sleep, and I slept good for the rest of the night. So I feel pretty good today. Look at Bouncy, still going ham. Look at that new leaf. And that's since the last time you've seen this doggone plant. Here's another one right here. Oops, right there. So Bouncy is starting to make me proud. I guess this thing will grow on me. I've got one that's acting up, so I'm going to cut that leaf off. I'll see how it does. Right here, I've got new leaves. So bouncy, let me film up top because I don't know what's up there. So I'll look later when I look at the film to see what it looks like up there. But yeah, this thing is looking good and healthy. There's another new leaf right there, right at the top of the white thing. Okay, well, real quick here, let's look at, we have a seed alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I got the second orange shishito. The two that I planted in this final, where's my pointer? The two that I planted here did not come up, but the two that I planted here did. And so this is the one that just came up. Actually, it's been a day since that one came up. I just didn't come on because that was my only seed alert. So everything is looking really good, I think, in here. And I'm pretty much done with the heat for now. The moringa tree is looking good, and even the second one has bounced back and is growing leaves. The arugula is hanging in there. Look at the cotton, y'all. So I got 1, 2. The one that died, it disappeared. Now this one is still there. This one died, but it's still there. But I got 2 for Sherry, 1, 2, and then 2 for me. Actually, I'll give the 2 healthiest ones to Sherry. The Isis Candy Tomato. And then we have the Georgia. And I planted that one little seed, the Georgia rattlesnake watermelon. And then look at the loofah, y'all. Looking good. I love how that loofah came out. And both seeds germinated. I only planted 2. So everything, the greens, the Perkins okra came up, 2 of the Turkish okra, 2 of the white ladyfinger, well, all 4 of the white ladyfinger okra came up. So I will probably end up giving 2 of those to Robert since I have so much okra. And the other thing is I pulled out my final, I'm going to go on and do all my seedlings, although I do plan to go to Pelly's this year to supplement. It all depends on how much room I have and all that. And then I'll definitely be getting plants from the Grow Club. So I decided I'm going to do sweet corn this year, and that will be done in the greenhouse. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. Okay, I am loaded with squash this year. All this is squash. And I plant the squash, y'all know, basically for the squash flowers. But I want to try to get some patty pan this year, and the squash will be out. That one empty table that I have that still needs repairing, I'm going to use crates for the squash. And what I'm going to do is I'll probably put like 2 plants to a crate, and I'm going to put 4 of those crates right there in that table once I get it repaired. So they'll be down low, and then the squash can just grow up. So I'll do that. And then most of my squash, I want to get the patty pan, and I would like a few crookneck. Last year, I didn't get any squash. Remember, I think I got 1 patty pan, and I didn't even get any crookneck, and I was just shocked. Nothing pollinated. And I had plenty bees, because I did get cucumber last year and stuff, so I don't know. So we'll see what happens, with the squash. But anyway, I did get my squash flowers, that's for sure. But I didn't get many female. That's what it was. Remember, I wasn't getting any female flowers, and then I was trying to self-pollinate. And my self-pollination methods, although I know I'm doing it correct with the Q-tip, it never works for me. So I'd rather the bees do it. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a lot of squash, but what I want to try to get is some crookneck, so I will not mess with those flowers, especially if they're female. And then I want to try to get some patty pan. The rest of them, whatever squash. Oh, and I'm going for the honey nut squash too. I've never planted that before. It is like the butternut. That's what it is. So I'm not going to mess with those flowers either. I'm going ham with the beans. And I'm doing pole beans this year. I do have a bush bean out somewhere. but but I want to do pole beans, and those will be in the greenhouse because remember the animals did mess with those last year, and then I had to transfer them inside. So I'm gonna just let them run the poles because that loofah's gonna be doing it anyway. I'll probably tie some sort of string to kind of try to control it. But so we have the yellow wax, we have the stringless. This is some that I got from the seed people. And speaking of which, Yad Ezra runner beans, Blue Lake pole beans, I got those from the people too. So what I'm gonna try to do, forgot what I was getting ready to say. Oh, back to the seeds. I was at the meeting last night, 2 nights ago, and we're going to be, she sent out the calendar on yesterday, our calendar for the whole summer. Boy, we got some classes coming up, boy. So I'll be at some of them. All of them I won't be because I'll be busy. You know, it'll be during our summer season. We're going to be visiting farms and all kind of stuff. So a few field trips are scheduled, but we're going on the, let's see, the 5th is the ceramic class, and I'm going to be making, I'll be able to make 12 ceramic things. So I'll make sure that these won't be included because I already have my herbs. But I am going to make one for the French tarragon. I'm going to make one for potatoes. I've already made my list, and I've only come up with maybe 9. If I don't come up with any more, I'm going to still do those 12, and I will probably, hopefully, I might can do a giveaway for one ceramic, 1 or 2 ceramic tags. So if you're interested, just in case. Now, this is no 100% promise because, you know, I'll probably come up with that all kind of stuff. For one, I just thought of one, ground cherries. I didn't think of the ground cherries, so I'm going to have to make a tag for that. So that takes me up to 10. So right now, if I come up with 2 more, I'll let you know. But if not, then I'll probably do 2 and then do a giveaway of those 2. So just let me know if it's 2 particular ones you might like. Then I'll reserve those if I don't come up with 2 more for the rest of mine. And this is something we'll probably do again. And that's a fundraiser. I had to pay, in fact, I'll be paying on tomorrow, $30 for that class. And it's a fundraiser for the art portion of that, well, for us and the art portion of that building that we have our meetings where Emily works. So it's the art center lady. She teaches ceramics and other arts and crafts in that same building. So she's hosting it, but it's you know, I guess they're splitting up on the fundraiser part. So I think for $30, that isn't bad for that type of skill. And what we'll do is we will make our signs. We will paint a design on the sign. We will after we paint it, she will glaze it, of course, and she'll fire it in the kiln and everything. And then by the end of class, we'll take our signs. Or, you know what, we may have to go back to get them because I always thought that firing in the kiln takes a while. So I don't know. It's been a while since I've last seen a ceramics class in action. So, but I think it's like an overnight process if I'm not mistaken. But either or, I don't live far from the place, so I'll just go pick up my tags after, if that's the case. Okay, let me get back to the seeds. So I'm doing lima beans. I've done that before. I did lima beans last year, and I only planted 2 seeds, and both seeds came up, but I didn't get that many lima beans. The year before I planted lima beans, didn't get anything. The year before that, I planted lima beans and got a slew of them. Now, last year, Sherry got the lima beans because I planted 2 for her and 2 for me. She got them all summer long. Okay, I have the San Marzano tomatoes out, but I think it's a little too late to start those seeds. I just found them on yesterday. So, and we're going to be doing a class on that too, on making the pesto sauce and making, your sauces, your tomato sauces. We're doing a big class on that in August. And so I might go on and throw those in anyway, but I don't know how successful it will be because the rest of the tomatoes I've started are all cherry. But I'm going to go and do that. And I'm sowing these seeds this weekend before the surgery because they can be on the heat mat getting ready to germinate as I'm, going in for surgery. I should do it today. I might go on and do it today. Okay, I forgot about my jambalaya okra. I've never been successful with it, but I think I'm going to go on and throw a couple in just to see. Also, from the seed people, I got from the seed thing that was there, the seed exchange, I got some dwarf sunflowers, so I'm going to throw a couple of those in. Okay, so that's it as far as my seeds for this year. But now back to y'all seeds. That's cucumbers. I'm going to try those Diva cucumbers again, which are the ones that do not need pollinating. And then I'm going to do some regular cucumbers. Okay, now, to our seeds. The 2 nights ago when I was at the thing, first of all, they have taken most of those seeds to the Pine Egg Library, so I can go there and get all the free seeds I want. So when I go out tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to go by the library and grab up some of those seeds from the Pine Egg Library because they're right there in the lobby. All I have to do is park, walk up to the main entrance. The guard is right there, and I'll let them know I'm there for seeds. Show my library card because you have to have that. And I just got a new library card a week ago, actually, because we have a new thing called Hoopla, where you can do your library checkouts online and it's uploaded to your tablet. And you have the book for 2 weeks and then it'll automatically vanish after 2 weeks. So you have time to read the book. So I had to get a new library card because my old library card was from 1998 before I moved to Oklahoma. So it was null and void because now everything has to have that little barcode and the digital and all that. So I went last week and I got a new library card. That took a few minutes. So, but since then the seeds have arrived, so I'll go show my library card and then I'll be allowed to get as many seeds as I want. So that's number 1. So I will be doing that. Number 2 is our seeds are now bagged up. So we're not going to be able to just freely go through them like we used to. Probably because of me. But no, everybody would be getting those seeds. But they would have them set out on the table. But I think because we got so many this year, she changed the way that they will be distributed. So the seeds are put into like a lunch bag. I guess one of all the varieties. I don't know how she's doing it, but she showed it to me the other day and I was like, oh Lord, that's going to ruin everything. So my best bet is to go to the library, get seeds, and then I will give them away because I will not need them. I'll just go on and get that bag of seeds that she's offering us and hopefully she'll put some out. So that's going to be in April because we will be going the few days after the ceramics class. We will be meeting at the greenhouses and we will be sowing seeds, everything that we're growing for our plant sale this year and for our plants. So I will be volunteering for that. Of course, every year I do. And then after we sow the seeds, we'll meet back in like 2 weeks. Cause see, we put ours, not only do we have the heat mats there, but it's like this special machine that gets them germinated real quickly. And so we'll be meeting back in like 2 weeks towards the end of April and we'll have plants. And so then we'll get the plants transferred. So I'd always volunteer with that, with us transferring the plants into, the bigger sales. Then after we transfer all the plants and get those on our tables there that they have reserved for us, then in May, we're going to do our plant sale I think on the calendar it said May the 15th through the 20th. It's going to be before Memorial Day this year. Last year, it was Memorial Day weekend, and boy, it was a nightmare. And then they brought, the people from the Detroit Grow Club brought in all those extra plants for us. So this year is going to be like maybe a week or 2 earlier than it was last year. So we'll be doing the plant sale, and of course, I volunteer for that for the plant sale. And then I'll be getting my free plants from volunteering on that day. So then that's it. And then, of course, by then, Pelly's opens up Mother's Day weekend, but they don't get their plants and their herbs out until the following week. They like to get the Mother's Day business over with first, and that's flowers only. So Mother's Day week, they'll do that. And then that following week, I will be right there at Pelly's getting those herbs because, oh boy, they will be there, especially for that mojito mint and that French tarragon. Now, I got in on the French tarragon last year because they brought in another set, but they never brought in any more mojito mint. And so that's what I want to get is that mojito mint this year. You know, although I have mojito mint, I don't know if it's going to come back and wake up or not. It should, but, you know, you never know. Alrighty, so, yep, I've been on here 20 minutes, so let me get on off of here. Oh, before I do, let's come to the other room. First of all, I need to turn on the light. Yeah, so Robert's Scotch bonnet bit the dust. Okay, let me cut on the light and open the blind. All right, I hear you, doggy. That's my neighbor's dog. Okay, so my peppers are looking really good. I can barely see them because y'all know I'm farsighted now. What does this say? Candy cane. And that one's coming along real good. I gave them all some water, you know, once a week. I put a little water at the bottom of the cup. It soaked up good because they were all dry. But they're looking, oops, let me make sure I'm zoomed out. Okay, but the peppers are looking really good, I think. They're growing, and that's all I ask. Even that Jimmy Nardello has perked back up when I brought it into this room. My two overwintered peppers are still hanging in there. Robert Scotch bonnet died just out of the blue. It just bit the dust. It was getting ready to start leaves, and then all of a sudden it just died. I'm wondering if I overwatered it. I'm not sure, but I'm really hurt about that. And Robert, he wasn't too upset because we will be sowing Scotch bonnet seeds in a couple of weeks. So he'll get, because this one came from the Grow Club, this Scotch bonnet. So he'll get another one for sure. And he still has some peppers from last year. But look at this, y'all. And this tag, this is broccoli. Oops, here we go again. Me and this light. If I move it just a tinch, it will go out on me. Okay. So the broccoli, this is broccoli too. I forgot to put extra tags. Then the cabbage right there. And then this is the eggplant, these two right here. And then the, I don't know what this is. I think that's kohlrabi because I have 2 plants of each. And then the cauliflower. And then my ground cherries. See how they're taking off? They don't mind being planted together. They'll still grow as long as there's room. And so all these, with the exception of the ground cherry, these will be transplanted right after the surgery. So Monday, I'm going to the greenhouse. It's supposed to be warm again. And that little blue tub that I have already prepared, it already has holes, drainage holes. I have to put a little more soil in it. I'm going to go on and transplant some of these. I don't know if I can get all of them in there. I don't really know, but I think that I can because it's a big enough tub. I'm going to go on and get my ones with true leaves. I can get those transplanted right out there in the greenhouse, and they can start up with whatever they have to do. The eggplant, they won't be. And then the ground cherry, I will separate those. And I'm thinking of separating some of the peppers, giving each its own cup. Okay, so that's it, you guys. So I'm going to get off of here. Just wanted you to see that, to see how well they're coming along. And so I'm going to get off of here. And you guys, I said this was going to be a short episode. And again, here I am at 30 minutes. It never fails. So I will talk to you guys later. And may God bless you all. And I will keep you updated with everything pertaining to the eye. I will see you later. Bye-bye.